The day I caught a crook and ended up at the police station, I ran into an old flame Willow Smoke. She looked at me smiling. Young man, not bad moves, huh? I shrugged, decent enough thanks to lessons from an old girlfriend. As soon as the words left my mouth, the cop in front of me shot to his feet. Willow Smoke lazily glanced my way. I turned my head, catching sight of her slender silhouette. She was standing behind the cop, my old girlfriend completely forgotten. Yet these moments I remembered vividly. The breakup was my idea. Willow Smoke, she was perfect in every way. Beautiful with a privileged background. Back in school, she was a goddess unmatched. The exact reason for our split I can't quite recall. Probably because long-distance love was too tough. Back then, I was young and naive. Tensions and emotions piled up, waiting for a spark to ignite the words. If I'd known I'd see her again today, I'd have spruced myself up before stepping out, and never mentioned old girlfriend, lest anyone think I was still hung up on her. That crook was a repeat offender. His phone held countless sneaky photos of women. He was detained. After signing the report, the cop said I could leave. The girl who'd been photographed was just done crying, her eyes still red and puffy. She insisted on treating me to a meal. I was about to decline, but Willow Smoke was still there. Can't lose face no matter what. So I smiled calmly, sure, why not? But I had things to do. I excused myself to leave first. Staying in the same space as Willow Smoke any longer, I feared I might actually suffocate. As I passed her, I didn't forget to nod politely at Willow Smoke, throwing in a courteous distant smile, trying to play the cool carefree ex-boyfriend. But the moment I stepped outside, I couldn't smile anymore, damn it. I forgot my phone. I planned to wait until Willow Smoke left to grab it. Then footsteps sounded behind me. I turned instinctively. Her delicate face appeared before me again. I have to admit, 3 years apart, the girl from back then had shed her innocence, now carrying the mature allure of a woman. Impossible to look away from. Willow Smoke calmly handed me my phone. As I took it, my fingers brushed her slender cold ones. I cleared my throat. "I'm a forgetful guy." Willow Smoke replied lightly, fair enough. Her voice carried no emotion. My old girlfriend completely forgotten. Yet these moments I remembered vividly. I held it in. Good citizens like us always listen to Officer Sister. Building a harmonious society is everyone's duty, right? The moment I said it, I regretted it. Willow Smoke and I were high school classmates. After the college entrance exam, she confessed to me, and so we got together. Later, she chased her dream at the police academy, while I went to Jade City to study medicine. In the heat of our love, I loved teasing her, playfully calling her Officer Sister. But now saying it felt so wrong. I stole a glance at her, only to see calm between her graceful brows. Not a ripple of emotion. Fair enough. She's a real Officer Sister now. Whether I call her that or someone else does, it probably makes no difference to her. To avoid more awkwardness, I hurried off. Goodbye. Everyone knows it's just a polite phrase for exes who've parted ways. The best outcome is to never meet again. But I never expected to run into Willow Smoke again that evening. The reason was simple. Some old friends in Jade City threw a reunion, said it was to welcome Willow Smoke. Things were already awkward between us. They hadn't planned to invite me, but they called Little Sue while I was there, playing games with the kid. Little Sue reacted fast, glancing at my expression, cautiously asking, "Bright check class reunion tonight you in?" The phone speaker was too loud. I couldn't pretend not to hear. Thinking of Willow Smoke's indifferent tone this morning, and her expression, something in me flared up. "I'm in." No kidding, it's been years since we broke up. What's there to hold on to? If I didn't go, wouldn't it look like I was still hung up on her? I had to go, 9 of us total. Willow Smoke was the last to arrive, but that's not entirely accurate, because someone else trailed behind her. Longwoo, still in his uniform, looked like he rushed over right after work. Tall and upright. Amid the greetings, a few glances in the room darted between the 3 of us. Longwoo once wrote a love letter to Willow Smoke. I knew about it, but back then I didn't care. After all, she got tons of love letters. When we were together, I wasn't bothered. Now I had even less right to care. I sipped my juice focusing on ordering food. Little Rain Jong, Willow Smoke's best friend, livened up the mood. The atmosphere quickly warmed up. Meeting prosecutor Willow these days isn't easy, huh? Someone teased. Then someone mentioned Willow Smoke's name again. Longwoo smiled, ran into her downstairs by chance. This room was tiny. Even a few seats away, I heard every word. I passed the menu to someone else. A while later, Little Rain Jong suddenly asked, "Who ordered the steamed fish?" Little Smoke, you can't handle spicy food. Want to change it? Willow Smoke shook her head, no need. Little Rain Jong was shocked. You're allergic to chili, she stared at Willow Smoke. Little Rain Jong swallowed what she was about to say. Fine. It was just a small interruption, but it left me restless for the rest of the dinner. Like sitting on pins and needles. Halfway through, I excused myself to the restroom and cornered Willow Smoke in the hallway. You can't handle spicy food. Why didn't you ever tell me? A fire blazed in my chest, burning me into a flustered mess. Somehow from a model ex-boyfriend, I turned into a clueless one. Willow Smoke was washing her hands. She paused at my words. Her eyes met mine through the mirror. The wall-like traced the soft, smooth curve of her jaw. Her dark eyes clear and calm. After a moment, she said indifferently, "Bright Chet, you care so much about your ex-girlfriend's past. Meeting again." After that, Willow Smoke and I exchanged fewer than 3 sentences, but each one choked me half to death. Who cares about your past? What's there to care about? I said coldly. Sorry. Disappointed you. I don't have any other ex-girlfriends, so there's nothing to compare. Willow Smoke lowered her eyes, slowly pulling a paper towel, as if my words were just casual chatter. My seriousness now seemed utterly ridiculous. The fire in my chest snuffed out. Bright Chet, what are you doing? Snap out of it. I closed my eyes, turned to leave. Then Willow Smoke spoke up. Those things don't matter. I froze, then walked away faster. The second half of the dinner, I was like a ghost. My mind a mess. Willow Smoke, weren't you in City C before? You were doing great there. Why the sudden move here? This question from Longwoo was clearly what everyone was curious about. I couldn't help looking up. In that moment, even I didn't know what answer I was hoping for deep down. Willow Smoke sipped her tea, calmly saying, "Work transfer." Someone teased. Police, prosecutors, courts, one big family. Captain Willow and Deputy Chief. You've got to look out for us now. Little Rain Jong laughed and scolded. Getting tangled with them just means trouble. I looked away. Thankfully, an emergency call saved me. I'd never been so grateful. For a job that knows no day or night. Always on call. I hurriedly said goodbye to everyone. Little Rain Jong asked, "It's so late. Need someone to take you home?" As she spoke, her eyes flicked to the person beside her. The room went quiet for a moment. I waved it off. No need, no need. I'll just skin a bike. I'm tough. This morning I took down a crook. Willow Smoke can vouch for that. Ask her if you don't believe me. Everyone was stunned, clearly unaware we'd already crossed paths. Willow Smoke nodded. Yeah, pretty impressive. I worked at the hospital until 3 a.m. Showered, collapsed on the bed, exhausted but unable to sleep. I kept replaying our 4 years of college together. Every time we ate. How did Willow Smoke hide it so well? I never noticed a thing. Her last words echoed in my ears. The explanation slipped out. Those things don't matter. What does matter? The answer seemed painfully clear. I pulled the blanket over my head trying to sleep, but she also said people should look forward. It's been years since we broke up. Why ask her something like that? What's with all this tossing and turning? Bright Che, get a grip. With that realization, I threw myself into work. Thankfully, the busy schedule kept me drained. That day's events and the name Willow Smoke seemed to fade away, as if nothing had happened, except for one clueless guy. Bright Che, you and Willow Smoke really no chance at all. Staring at little sus message, I put on my white coat, calmly typing. The world's full of women. Why would I cling to Willow Smoke? With this face, finding new love is a piece of cake. Little Sue sighed heavily, but not every tree is as beautiful as that one. I turned off the screen, headed to the ward. Just then, a small scream rang out. Oh my god, so gorgeous. Seeing a crowd gathered, I casually asked, what's everyone looking at? So excited about what? Sister Dan, a colleague, turned around, her face still beaming with excitement. Bright, check, come see this super cool lady cop. Thanks to that police station incident. Now, just hearing certain words made me want to bolt. But my eyes couldn't help but glance over. A video shot by a passerby, posted half an hour ago, already over 10,000 likes. This morning on New People Street, a robbery in broad daylight, with a hostage taken. But this lady cop took him down in one move. Her stance, her waist, even just a side profile. Stunning enough to leave people speechless. My heart skipped a beat, though it was just a fleeting figure. I recognized her instantly. It was Willow Smoke. Her movements crisp, decisive. Strength steady, precise, powerful. Cool and beautiful, impossible not to be charmed. No wonder my colleagues reacted like that. So Bright, che, you're usually so picky. This one's got to have caught your eye, right? Probably because I was staring blankly. Sister Dan nudged me, winking suggestively, but honestly, Willow Smoke in that video radiated beauty worthy of every praise. My heart raced a few beats. Then I looked away indifferently, just average. Everyone gawked at me, no way. Bright, che, a lady cop this stunning and you're not impressed. Sister Dan paused, then burst out laughing. Alright, fine. I know you're still hung up on your full moon. That ex-girlfriend. No beautiful girl can compare, right? Sister Dan's always eager to play matchmaker. On my first day at the hospital, she tried setting me up. In the end, I had no choice but to say I was still into my ex-girlfriend. That excuse always worked, but this time it felt oddly off. Until I turned around and saw a slender figure in the hallway. I realized what was wrong. The moment Willow Smoke glanced over, my mind went blank. Only one thought: am done for. How much had she heard? Behind her was another cop in uniform. Willow Smoke looked away, saying something softly to him. If I rushed over now to explain, it was a misunderstanding. Would it be too late? 10 minutes later, I learned why she was here. The hostage and another cop were injured. Thinking of the gleaming knife in the video, I couldn't help asking another question. Sister Dan waved it off. Don't worry. With Captain Willow here, everything's fine. Fair enough. She could even train a useless guy like me. Of course, she's even more capable herself. I breathed a sigh of relief. Her side profile was already stunning, but facetto face, she was even more breathtaking. So Bright, che, feeling it yet? Sister Dan didn't miss a chance to matchmake. Want me to ask for you? Is Captain Willow single? Imagining that scene, I immediately refused, dead serious. But even with my refusal, plenty of guys were into her. Maybe her cool aura was too much. A few guys blushed, pushing each other, but none dared step forward. In the end, they all shoved me out. Bright, che, you go ask Captain Willow. I couldn't believe it, but their reasoning was solid. You already have someone in your heart, don't you? 2 words, no fear. I was speechless, unable to refuse. Dragging my feet, I took a deep breath and stepped forward. Willow, I barely started. Willow Smoke turned around. I realized she was on the phone. I quickly raised my hand, not knowing who she was talking to. She responded softly a few times. My eyes fell on her long, pale hand. Her skin so fair it was almost translucent. Faint blue veins barely visible. The light cast soft shadows under her long lashes. This wasn't the first time I'd seen her in a police uniform, but I had to admit, this woman in that look was both cool and captivating. Until she spoke, I snapped out of it, instantly mortified. I'd been staring at her like an idiot. Nothing, just, are you hurt? I fumbled for a topic. The second I said it, I wanted to bite my tongue off. She'd been here this long. If she was hurt, wouldn't it be obvious? Willow Smoke paused for a moment, but didn't call me out. Just nodded slightly. No, I mumbled. She didn't seem to hear. Leaning closer, what was that? I was so embarrassed I could die. Can I get your WeChat? Willow Smoke tilted her head, looking at me. Her deep black eyes held a hint of surprise. For a moment, some emotion I couldn't read flashed through. I struggled to explain. All the guys in the department really like you. Her expression faded. She stood up sorry, her voice flat, not convenient. My first time asking a girl for her WeChat. And I crashed and burned. With my ex-girlfriend no less. I was so embarrassed I wanted to dig up the whole hospital. Brother Bright Chest, someone called from behind. I turned quickly, saw a familiar face. It was the girl who'd been photographed that day. It's really you. Sweet Tang's face lit up with excitement. I thought I got the wrong guy. Brother Bright Cheffrey today. Cared to grab a meal. Anything to escape. This mortifying situation. I'd agree to anything, sure. But why are you at the hospital today? Just a bit of stomach inflammation. No big deal. Sweet Tang leaned in secretively. Brother Bright Che. Quick question. Are you single right now? For some reason, I instinctively wanted to glance at Willow Smoke, but held back. Yeah. Couldn't even get her WeChat? If I'm not single, who is? Someone seemed to call her. A moment later, footsteps faded, getting quieter. I nodded to Sweet Tang. All right. See you tonight at the restaurant entrance. Seeing Sweet Tang and the woman beside her, I started to regret it. Brother Bright Che, this is my sister. I never expected her efficiency would be this high. Asking that question in the day and setting up a blind date by evening, I could only smile politely. Hello. Hello, Brother Bright Che. After Kind Tang entered the restaurant, my regret multiplied exponentially. Willow Smoke was there too. The cop who took my statement that day was also present. 3 of them total. Looked like a colleague gathering. I'd never felt Jade City was this small. In just a few days, I'd run into Willow Smoke more times than in the 3 months before. As I debated slipping away, the cop looked up, saw me and Sweet Tang, and waved enthusiastically. Willow Smoke glanced over indifferently. Her eyes lingered on me for a moment. In that instant, I suddenly felt like I'd been caught doing something wrong, but she quickly looked away, as if she saw nothing. I silently psyched myself up. Bright Chest, stay calm, you've got this. But life is full of surprises. The restaurant was packed. We had to share a table, and ended up at Willow Smoke's. I never imagined I'd be sitting next to Willow Smoke. In a situation like this, I could even smell the faint sweet scent on her. The cop and Sweet Tang were both chatty types. The atmosphere quickly livened up. On the surface, it seemed cheerful. Kind Tang looked gentle, open-minded. Her conversation felt like a spring breeze. Thanks to Brother Bright Chef for last time. Sweet Tang said, you're really skilled. Trained professionally. I forced a smile. Learned from a friend. Willow Smoke unwrapped her chopsticks, wiping her utensils. Kind Tang smoothly changed the topic. This restaurant's been in Jade City for years. Their garlic shrimp is a signature dish. Worth trying. Brother Bright, you should give it a go. Before I could respond, a cold voice spoke beside me. He doesn't eat seafood. The table went silent. Kind Tang froze. Her eyes flicked between me and Willow Smoke. You two know each other. Not knowing her wouldn't explain that comment. But saying we knew each other wasn't quite right either. I gave a faint smile. Sort of. We were high school classmates, but we haven't kept in touch. I don't even have Captain Willow's WeChat. Willow Smoke seemed to let out a soft laugh. I glanced over, only to see her leaning back slightly in her chair, as if it was just my imagination. This meal was painfully awkward. Finally, it ended. Stepping out, I took a deep breath. It was over at last. Kind Tang asked for my address. Where do you live, Brother Bright? We're driving, we can drop you off. I really wasn't in the mood to continue. A ride was even less appealing. I pointed him in clear breeze. Probably not on your way. Before I finished, a roaring gust came from behind. My heart lurched. Before I could react, someone grabbed my wrist, pulling hard. I crashed into a soft embrace. The motorcycle's engine roared and faded. I was still in shock. What was with that guy? I heard the cop cursing, only then realizing I'd nearly been hit by a bike. So the person holding me now was. I looked down instinctively, meeting Willow Smoke's gaze as she looked up. Her face was cold, her voice colder, like she was holding something back. How many times have I told you to watch for traffic on the roadside? Why don't you ever listen? She rarely sounded like this. The two cops quietly backed off. My chest felt heavy. This was indeed my fault. But back then, she never used this tone with me. Why are you snapping at me? I couldn't help retorting. The moment I said it, I knew it was wrong. At the very least, this wasn't the tone to use with an ex-girlfriend. The cop broke the tension, carefully saying, "Captain, Willow lives right by Clear Breeze. It's on the way." I never expected this chaotic day would end with me and Willow Smoke heading home together. The night streets were lively, bustling, but none of it concerned me. I couldn't wrap my head around it. The first time alone with Willow Smoke since meeting again was under these circumstances. "Sorry for messing up your blind date," Willow Smoke spoke, back to her usual cold, calm self. What was wrong with her? Every word hit my sore spots. I shot back, "I didn't know she'd bring her sister. If I'd known, I wouldn't have gone." She went quiet. The night breeze blew gently, carrying her faint, sweet scent. My heart raced uncontrollably. Her grip on my wrist seemed to linger with burning warmth. I closed my eyes, trying to shake off the chaos, but stubbornly searched for words. "Willow, you seem thinner lately. Eat more meat to make up for it." Willow Smoke stopped suddenly, tilting her head to look at me. I blinked. "What's up?" She stared at me for a moment, her brows slightly raised. I only listened to my boyfriend. She leaned forward slightly, edging closer, her dark, beautiful eyes clear and pure, like questioning, like probing. "Drive bright, in what capacity are you telling me what to do?" God, I beat my chest in frustration. I completely lost. One sentence from her left me speechless, fleeing in a panic. Little Sue comforted me over the phone. "No big deal, just dazzled by beauty. Human nature, you know." I was on the verge of tears. She wasn't like this before. 3 years apart. Where did this woman learn such skills? Willow Smoke's always been calm, reserved. When we were together, I was the talkative one taking the lead. Who have thought the tables would turn? Now I'm the one who can't handle it. "To get even for today?" Little Sue cautiously asked. I was fired up, of course. His voice suddenly turned firm, bold. "Then be her boyfriend again. Make her pay tenfold for today. You're my true brother." I hung up abruptly, went to shower, trying to erase the memory of tonight. But lying in bed, those images replayed on their own. I really couldn't sleep. I went online, found that video of Willow Smoke. The likes had passed 100,000. The video looped automatically, her figure becoming clearer, as if possessed. I suppressed my racing heart and hit save. That night I had a dream about Willow Smoke, like going back to that vibrant summer after the college entrance exam. Cicadas chirping loudly, the air thick with heat. The girl's dark eyes sparkled, shimmering, asking me, "Bright Ched, do you want to be with me?" I blinked, grinned wickedly, pinching her cheek. "If we're together, I get to kiss right here." She clearly didn't expect that. Her cheeks instantly flushed red, maybe after a long pause, or without hesitation. She softly said, "Willow Smoke belongs only to Bright Ched." So sure, later came a cold winter. She tapped the back of my hand, "Wrong move." I teased online. Any reward from Officer Sister. Her hand slipped through my fingers, interlocking tightly, kissing me. Her breath warm, my heart pounding. I vaguely caught her faint scent. It was clearly the Willow Smoke of now. I opened my eyes. In the dark room, I covered my eyes. It's over, though I didn't want to admit it. I think I've fallen for Willow Smoke again. Little Sus' suggestion didn't seem so bad. Just is she maybe probably still single? I scoured the comments under that video, all asking for her contact info. Then I followed the trail, found the official police station account, discovered the comments under their latest promotional video, even more than the other one, all aimed at Willow Smoke. This woman's charisma was unreal. I felt a twinge of jealousy, and an unease I couldn't name, racking my brain. I finally found a legitimate excuse. Willow Smoke saved half my life. This favor deserved a proper thank you. Standing at the police station, I realized this was a bit impulsive. Hesitating for 20 minutes, I decided to bail. But as I turned, I bumped into Willow Smoke. She froze, her eyes flickering, frowning, something wrong. Trouble. Fair enough. People only come here when there's a problem. I cleared my throat. No, nothing. Just about the other day. Wanted to treat you to a meal to say thanks. Willow Smoke's brows twitched. She didn't say yes, didn't say no. Just quietly looked at me. From behind, someone shouted, "Oh my god! This handsome guy's chasing Captain Willow so boldly, showing up right at the door." My face burned. Who'd have thought the guy would whistle? Teasing pretty boy. Our Captain Willow's tough to win over. Willow Smoke glanced over coolly. The guy vanished instantly. Sorry, Captain Willow, my bad. Like a secret exposed. I felt like I was on fire. Would Willow Smoke misunderstand? It's not like I came here with some shady intentions. Chasing a girl is so damn hard. Not convenient today. Willow Smoke spoke, got some work to do. Tomorrow then. I waved it off, no worries. Go do your thing. At this point, I'd used up what little courage I had. Her rejection left me too scared to say more. Willow Smoke's lips moved, like she wanted to say something, but only said, "My number hasn't changed." I thought for a moment, then got it. Nodding instinctively, she paused, forgot it. Willow Smoke glanced at me faintly. Really? To prove I wasn't lying, I rattled off a string of numbers, my tongue smoother than ever. After finishing, I caught her half-smiling look and realized how well I remembered back when I asked for her WeChat. My behavior was just, and I mocked her at the dinner table. She didn't give me her WeChat. Looks like you remember a lot. I had nothing left to live for. It's not my fault. Really, she made me memorize her number back then. Who'd have thought after all these years she'd spring a pop quiz? Little Sue was floored over the phone. For real, Willow Smoke spoiled you like that and had you under her thumb? I cleared my throat full of guilt. Willow Smoke said, "No memorizing, no kissing." How could I not try? Now look at this mess. It's proof I'm still hung up on her. Little Sue went quiet. You're really into her now, aren't you? Well said. Don't say it again. Being a cop is busy as hell. Little Sue said. Even meals are rushed. I nodded. Only slightly less hectic than us. After that, Little Sue hung up. I pocketed my phone. Went to a hospital meeting. By the time I got home, it was dusk. Waiting at a traffic light, I glanced over and saw a familiar figure. Willow Smoke stood by a car, like she was waiting for someone. I froze, then saw someone approach her. Longwoo amid the bustling traffic. They stood together talking. Longwoo's face seemed to hold a smile. Willow Smoke stood at an angle. I couldn't see her expression. Then they got in the car and left. A blaring horn snapped me back. I realized the light had turned green. I started my car and drove off. Back home, staring at the ceiling. My sluggish brain finally kicked into gear. The word she mentioned was this it. I sat up. Something crashed hard in my chest. It's her business. I, an ex-boyfriend, have no right to pry. Even if I'm chasing her, doesn't mean she belongs to me. With so many people after her, who she likes, who she's with, that's perfectly normal. 3 years after our breakup, did I expect her to still pine for an ex? On what grounds would she wait for me forever? The room was silent, so quiet, every sense sharpened. I clutched my chest, not sure where it hurt. Maybe I was hungry, hadn't eaten dinner, meant to order takeout, but got lost thinking about Willow Smoke. I texted Little Sue, let's grab a late night bite. In times like this, Little Sue's always there. We picked a lively barbecue joint. I went all out, ordered a ton of food. Little Sue, knowing on a skewer, asked, hey, why aren't you eating, just drinking? Keep this up. All these skewers are mine. I opened another bottle. I ate dinner. Just want a drink now. Dig in my treat. Little Sue put down his skewer. A bit worried, what's up? Someone piss you off? No, and you're offering to pay. Clearly you're worked up. Little Sue sighed, work not going well. I shook my head, he snatched my bottle. Spill or am calling the cops. Bright chat, I let go of the bottle. Still shaking my head, Little Sue. Don't bother officer sister. She's already swamped. Little Sue stared at me. After a long pause, he carefully asked, what's really going on with you and Willow Smoke? A cheer erupted nearby. A guy was taking a drink for a girl, probably their friends around them, cheering in unison. The girl blushed, gripping the guy's hand. He set down the glass, kissed the back of her hand. I finally understood. All this time, where that unease and frustration came from. I was the one who let go of Willow Smoke first. 3 long years left me unsure if I was still first in her heart. Back then, I didn't care about the love letters she got because I knew she adored me, spoiled me to no end. I was too confident. Only now, after all this, did I realize loving someone can make you so anxious, so scared, worried about gaining, losing. But she's no longer mine. Little Sue dragged me home, but stopped suddenly under my building, looking at the trash bin nearby. I got wary. You promised to get me home. You can't ditch me like this. Little Sue coughed awkwardly. I tilted my head. What's up? Throat acting up. He pinched me hard. I yelped in pain. What the hell, man? Willow Smoke doesn't want me. You ditching me too? He deadpanned. Captain Willow, not bad, huh? I slowly turned my stiff neck. Willow Smoke stood in the night, her beautiful eyes quietly watching. I sobered up instantly. Never hated my alcohol tolerance more. If I were blackout drunk, I could forget everything. If I weren't drunk at all, I wouldn't have blurted out nonsense. But half drunk like this led to this awkward mess. I stood up straight, made it home. Little Sue, you head back too. I'm totally fine. Little Sue jumped in. Alright, you told me to go, so it's fair game to leave me behind, right? Watching him vanish quickly, I was speechless, at a loss. Finally, I took a deep breath, tried to stay calm and walk on. This time I really had no mood to chat. My dignity was long gone. No point in being shy. Bright chest, she called out. I pretended not to hear. The next second my wrist was grabbed. Let's talk. I closed my eyes. Fine, talk, but let go first. Where'd you go drinking like that? Her voice was calm. She knew my tolerance. Just half a bottle sloshing around. Back then she never let me drink out. If I wanted to, she had to be there. But that was then. Something in me wanted to explode. Who are you to me? What gives you the right to control me? Willow Smoke didn't let go. Even stepped closer, looking straight into my eyes, softly asking, what's really wrong? Her voice almost sounded like a pout. Like countless times in the past, I closed my eyes. The walls I built all night crumbled. Willow Smoke, can you not do this? I turned my face away, ignoring the strength and warmth on my wrist, but my voice trembled. I asked you out. I want to pursue you. But if you already have someone you like, then I won't bother you anymore. She let go. My heart felt empty. My insides twisted painfully, afraid of losing more face. I turned to leave. The next second she said, the person I like is right here. Bright Che, where do you want me to go? I couldn't take another step. Lately, I've been tied up with a case. The bureau's strict. After leaving the prosecutor's office, I waited for you here. Willow Smoke paused. Didn't you say you'd treat me to dinner? Countless images flashed through my mind. I didn't dare look closely earlier, but there was indeed a hint of fatigue between her brows. She'd waited for me here so long. I panicked. Blurted, I said tomorrow. I couldn't wait. Willow Smoke gave a self-mocking laugh. What if you change your mind tomorrow? What if you stop chasing me? It took forever to find my voice. I'm drunk. Willow Smoke. Drunk people hallucinate easily. Don't you know that? The next second my waist was gripped. A warm faint scent closed in from behind. I finally gave in. Turned, pulled her into my arms. Lifted her chin. Kissed her soft, cool lips. Maybe I kissed too hard. She let out a soft sound. I eased up, kissing gently, tenderly, offering all my patience. Like a fire igniting where we touched, spreading from my ears to my cheeks. No idea how long it lasted. I finally stopped, but couldn't help holding her tighter. Her cheeks flushed, her eyes sparkling. Now can you tell what's real? My heart thundered. Everything happened so fast. My mind was still foggy. I mumbled, so, does this mean I get it now? Willow Smoke paused. Softly said, Willow Smoke belongs only to Bright Chet. My heart stirred. I couldn't help looking down at her. Her delicate features, stunningly beautiful, blending with the image of the girl from years ago. Her hand locked tightly with mine. Always Willow Smoke, leading me still dazed to the apartment. We sat on the sofa for a long time, Watching her in the kitchen making sobering soup, my drifting heart finally found its weight, settling back in place. Steady, secure. I walked over, hugged her from behind. Willow smoke. She turned, yeah, I pointed at the pot, forget it. Too much trouble. Drink it or you'll have a headache tomorrow. We'd been apart so long. She was clearly exhausted too, but these caring gestures, she still did with utmost care. As if those 3 years never separated us. She handed me the sobering soup. I took the bowl. My heart felt squeezed. I always thought we parted on good terms. A 4-year long distance relationship, no matter how passionate it wore down. In the end, we were both so busy we had no time. Phone calls. Texting felt like a drop in the bucket. I was tired, she was tired. So when exhaustion hit, I said the words to break up. I thought it was the best outcome, but looking back, maybe not. I suddenly didn't dare ask how she'd lived these 3 years. I seemed to have missed so much. You can't be like this. Willow smoke, I lowered my eyes. You're too easy to win over, you'll meet bad guys. You should set more challenges to test them. She looked up at me. Bright che. It's because it's you that am this easy, got it. I thought I'd be sleepless tonight, but maybe the wine and soup worked. I slept soundly. Morning came, woken by little sus message. Holy crap, Bright che, you nailed it. I propped myself up. Saw breakfast Willow smoke left on the table, with a note tucked underneath. Last night worried about my drinking. She didn't leave. Stayed to watch over me while eating porridge. I finally replied to Little Sue. What's up, Little Sue fired back. I knew you'd win her over. My true brother. This love flex is next level. I was confused. Love flex. I just won my girlfriend back less than 12 hours ago. What's there to flex? Catching his keyword. I checked the police station's official account. The pinned video's comment section. Half an hour ago they replied, everyone. Captain Willow's taken. Below was a flood of lamenting comments. Which guy got her so fast? My heart stirred. I scrolled further. Saw their second reply. Captain Willow's been chasing for years. Finally got her answer. I grabbed my phone wanting to text her, but didn't know how to start. My eyes caught Little Rain Zhong's name in my contacts. I jolted. Texted her, Little Rain Zhong. I need to ask you something. You free? 3 minutes later, Little Rain Zhong called me. When we connected, I didn't know what to say. After breaking up with Willow Smoke, I kept my distance from her friends. But her 3 years were a blank to me. Asking Little Rain Zhong made the most sense. Unexpectedly, she spoke first. You and Little Smoke back together? I answered awkwardly, yeah. It's not a big deal. Just wanted to ask, these 3 years, how was she? Little Rain Zhong went quiet. Sighed, what's past is past. If Little Smoke didn't mention it, me saying it wouldn't mean much. Just treat her well from now on, okay? I opened my mouth, finally just stiffly said okay. I had work today. I tittied up and left, busy all day at the department. Near the end of my shift, I texted Willow Smoke, asked her to grab dinner tonight. She said she had to work late. Eat first, it'll probably be late. I replied, all right. Then went to the police station, sat at the milk tea shop across the street, waiting for her to get off. It was pitch dark. A long time later, a group came out. I stood heading their way. Before I got close, I heard someone call Willow Smoke. Longwoo waved at his colleagues, walked toward Willow Smoke. I stopped. The streetlight cast long shadows and lit up the tension and unease on Longwoo's face. Willow Smoke pressed her lips slightly. Can I talk to you? Willow Smoke glanced at her phone, make it quick. My boyfriend's waiting. Longwoo's face froze. After a long pause, he said, does it have to be him? Willow Smoke didn't answer. Longwoo took a deep breath. His voice edged with agitation. What's so great about him? He dumped you without a second thought back then. When you were injured in the hospital, where was he? These 3 years, you nearly killed yourself to transfer here. How much does he know? He knows nothing. He doesn't need to know those things. Willow Smoke cut him off lightly. What's so great about Willow Smoke? For years, when he was in trouble, I wasn't there. When he was tired, I wasn't there. When he was sad, I wasn't there either. Willow Smoke lowered her hand. Her voice soft faint. Worried head deal with unreasonable patience. Worried head stay up late not sleep enough. Worried head fall for someone else. Was he ever lonely? I don't know anything either. Longwoo took a deep breath. Willow Smoke in this world. No one can't live without someone else. I know that's why I survived 3 years without him. The night breeze lifted her jacket. Her waist looked even slimmer. Her cold voice blended into the wind. But besides him, I don't seem able to love anyone else. When Longwoo left, I couldn't see his face. Willow Smoke turned, took 2 steps and saw me. Pausing slightly, didn't I tell you to wait at home? She walked over, signed something. The cop said I could go. Willow Smoke smiled faintly. Really? I went quiet for a moment. Willow Smoke sensed something. What's wrong? I closed my eyes. I miss you. My fingers tightened. These 3 years, Willow Smoke missed you every day. She crouched slightly, hugged me, looked up. I know her eyes curved. She kissed me. That's why I came back.